Hey everybody, welcome back to Trinity Dairy. Don't forget to like and share the video, comment, subscribe. Check out our merch store if you're interested in that. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Today is March 12th, 2024. Beautiful out today. It's supposed to be in the 60s. It was over 60 yesterday. I think this is the last really warm day. It's supposed to get kind of cloudy after this and the temperature kind of dropping back down like 45 tomorrow, and we're supposed to get back into the mid-upper 30s, which is about normal for this time of the year. But we're definitely enjoying this. Hopefully we get some rain. We're still really dry. Pretty good fire warning around here. We haven't really had any in our area close yet. I know north of us, not too far, they've had a few fires. I think they've been able to get them out, but it's not good. But anyway, what we're going to work on this afternoon, I got the 1066 fired up. This tractor is way bigger than what I need for this job, but I wanted to run it some because I had it back, got it back from the shop. I had hydraulic leak fixed on the steering, so I'd like to run it and make sure that's all good. Get it stretch its legs a little bit. But I got the big spike tooth drag. We're gonna go out and harrow some of that manure out in that hayfield and see if we can get that spread out. I'm not gonna set this thing real aggressive, just because I think if I set it too aggressive, it's just going to rip up all the old grass and clog up, so I don't want to do that either. But we'll get out to the field and get it set up and see how that works. Well, I think it's working pretty good. It looks kind of rough because it's just fluffing everything up, but it seems to be breaking up the clumps pretty good. Other than this one section here on the end, this one you can't really adjust. It's not for this drag, it's a different brand. And that one is bunching up because the teeth, they don't want to lay back at all. I've got the other ones set like one notch from all the way up, and they seem to be working nice, but this one bunches up like this and then it dumps out a big clump, so it's kind of defeating the purpose. But I'm going to talk to my dad because I think he's got another section that's more adjustable that would fit on here. So I'm going to see if I can get that from him and put that on here. But otherwise it's working out good. I think I'm kind of going across. It was spread this way, so I'm kind of going at an angle across it and getting those broke up, and I think it's working out pretty good. But we're going to wait until I can get that end one changed. Either that or just take it off of there. But it's nice with this big wide. I think this is about 30 feet wide, so I can cover a lot of ground in a hurry. But anyway, that's going to be it probably for today. We'll see what we get into tomorrow. I got to head off to work here now. So hey everybody, welcome back. It's a few days later. It's March 15th today. It's cooled off a little bit, but it's still beautiful weather out. I don't know, I think it's supposed to be in the upper 40s today. Sun's out. It's supposed to get kind of windy. Still haven't had any rain yet. I've heard some chatter about maybe in a month or so this weather pattern is supposed to kind of switch, and it sounds like we could be getting some pretty good rain, so we're hoping and praying for that. But my dad, we're going to do today, or this morning, my dad brought over that section of drag for that spike tooth, so we're going to go put that on. I got to move a couple clamps on there and try to get that on. See if we can get the rest of that manure drug out. We're at the sap cooker here. This is about the last of it. Jen went down last night and checked, and the color of the sap was starting to turn and the taste was off, so this is going to be the last batch here. So we got this boiling good. I wanted to try out my new cooker this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I think we'll probably still put some pans in with some water in just to fire it up and get it fine-tuned so that we know it's working for next year. But I was hoping to run some sap through it, but I don't think we're gonna get that going this year. But anyway, it's been a good year. It's turned out pretty good. I'd have to ask her how much. I know we're over 100 gallons of sap through. I can't remember exactly how much syrup we've wound up with, but I know we're probably close to 130 gallons or so of sap that's gone through. So that's not too bad for this little cooker. But anyway, we'll head out to the field and get that drag fixed. Well, we just got seed corn and herbicide delivery. Kind of show you what I got here. I got, this is Greenfield Genetics. This is what I've been planting for quite a while. I've had really good luck with this seed, especially in the dry conditions we've had. It's really handled the drought well. This is an 86 day. That's the number 37R86 GTA. I was going to get all of this, 86, mid 80 days, usually what I plant. They only had 12 bags of this left. I needed 3 more, so they had a 93 day. That's pretty much the same traits, just a longer day a little bit. I've planted, I think the latest day corn that I've ever planted was like a 91 day, and it actually did really well. A lot of it depends on the year, but we'll give it a try and see what it does. Like I said, I just got 3 bags of that, so it won't be a huge piece. And then I got a 30 gallons of Halex GT. That's what I've been using for herbicide on the corn, and it seems to work really, really well. I've had good luck with it. It's not cheap. It has come down from last year, but still ain't cheap, I guess, but it works good to clean that up, so that's what we like. I got that. That's from Triple Z Farm Supply down in Pine City. They took over from the guy that I used to get seed from Romhilds down there. They kind of took over from him and moved over to Pine City, and had really, really good luck dealing with them. They've been really good to work with. They actually delivered it right up here, so that saved me a trip, so that was nice. So we got the seed, got the spray. Now we just got to get it in the ground and get some rain. But I had to run back and grab a different socket for that drag, so we'll head out there now and finish that up.
Are you having any? I'm gonna have a few more jelly. Maybe.
Well, we got it on there. It's a little bit different. The teeth on it are shorter than the other one, so we'll see how that works. But we'll fire it up here and give it a whirl. Well, it's working good. It's not clogging up at all like the other one was. It sits a little bit lower than the other ones. Like I said, the teeth are shorter. I think it might be the same brand though. Got some similar looking paint on it, but it works a lot better than what was on there. And it's working good. Some of this over here, I'm just gonna leave alone because that was what the kids cleaned out of the calf pens in the barn, so it was all pitchforked into the spreader, so that stuff spread out a lot better. I'm just working on this stuff we loaded with the skid steer because it come out of the spreader a lot chunkier, and it's really breaking up them chunks good. It looks a lot. It looks like there's a huge amount of chunks when you go over it with that, but it's got them all broken up and fluffed up. The stuff I did the other day had already settled kind of down in nice after it sat, and if we can get some rain on it, I think that'll work it down in there nice. But anyway, I'm going to keep going here a little bit more. I'm not sure what we'll get into later today. I think Jen had some other stuff maybe she's going to put in here too. She got some video of Justin doing some different stuff, so we'll probably have that in here as well. So we'll see what we get into later on in the day.
For a video about Justin right here, and you know, because he's really getting into learning about farming, the ins and outs of it, and if we've done anything to help him learn about handling money with being on the farm. So we thought we would do a quick little video talking about Justin and what he has been up to in his adventures and wandering into the beef industry of all things. Yeah. So last year, Justin decided he wanted to show beef cows in 4-H. Is there any particular reason that you wanted to show beef?
Well, because I wanted to be a beef farmer, because I also wanted to have an off-the-farm job. And then I thought that beef showing looked really cool. So I wanted to show beef too.
But you don't want to be an angry farmer.
So we reached out to some friends of ours who have beef cattle, and they decided that they would let Justin lease 2 of their heifers. And so if you followed the channel last year, you saw the one that Justin showed, and that was a registered Gelve. The other heifer that we got, we couldn't quite get to tame down, but she was still a really, really nice looking heifer. But for their program, she was an odd age. She was too small to be with their other ones and too big to be with their new babies. And so, Justin, do you want to tell them what they did?
They gave it to me.
Yep, they told Justin, because he did such a good job with the other heifer, that they made a deal with him that if he took that other heifer to the fair, they would give him this one. So now Justin then had Hazel, who is a Gelve Angus cross heifer.
Or a balancer.
So Hazel has now been bred, and so we're hoping for a fall calf from her. She was bred Angus. Anyway, fast forward to this past Christmas season, right around there.
Yeah, of course you see it.
We have extra commentary going on here. We got contacted by that same family that they were going to be selling down some of their beef cows. And so they asked Justin if he would be interested in purchasing some of them. So we did look into the USDA loan program with Justin, but we decided that we would just start off with buying one from them instead of buying a group of 4 or 5, because we weren't really sure how we were going to be going into winter with hay and things like that. So Justin took his blue ribbon auction money that he earned in 4-H, which can be used for the purchase of animals, especially for the next project, and he bought himself a registered Gelbvieh heifer. So do you want to introduce everybody to your registered Gelbvieh heifer?
Yes.
So why did you decide that you wanted to purchase Carmel?
Because I wanted to start my own beef herd. And so when she was for sale, I knew who she was because I showed her last year. So I wanted to buy her instead of any of the other ones.
It's kind of nice to have one. She's already halter broke and she's already used to being shown, right?
Yep.
So now that you've bought her, now you plan on breeding her?
Yep.
So are you going to breed her Gelbvieh?
Yep.
And then if she has a bull calf, then are you going to sell it?
I'm not going to sell it as a bull. I'm going to have it as a steer, and then once it's weaned, I'll sell it.
All right. So what is your plan now with your beef herd? You've got Hazel and Carmel.
Well, I want to breed out the Red Angus Gelbvieh cross and turn that into Black Angus, and then have purebred Gelbvieh. So I want to have purebred Black Angus and purebred Gelbviehs on my farm.
So what are you thinking you're going to do with your beef cows then? Are you going to raise up your steers, or are you just going to sell them young? What would you like to do in the future with them?
Well, once I have my steers, I'm going to keep them until they're weaned and maybe keep a couple for myself. But then the rest of them I'm going to sell once they're weaned.
So after working with beef cattle, do you really like them?
I really like beef cattle.
You like them better than dairy?
Yep.
Oh, Justin. No, it doesn't shock me at all. So Carmel is an absolute sweetheart. And yeah, so I am excited to see where you go with her this year.
I really like beef cattle, and I really like learning about them. So this year, Mom got me a thing to do a beef in a box.
That was a thing through 4-H where you got to learn different things about like branding, feeding, bedding. So we have some video of that we'll include. And then you've also been doing your general livestock knowledge bowl, which one part of that was beef cattle. And you've been enjoying that?
Yep. Okay, so today I also went with my grandpa to a beef bull sale. It wasn't all bulls. They had some heifers they were going to sell too. So we went there, and there was really nice bulls. They were yearling bulls, and I think they were also yearling heifers, maybe a little bit younger.
So did you buy any?
No, I wanted to, especially the heifers, but I couldn't.
Well, I don't know that much about beef cattle, Justin, but she looks like a pretty nice heifer to me. Okay, Justin, so what are we doing?
We're doing beef in the box.
Which is through 4-H.
Yep.
They sent this down to us. There was a bunch of different learning activities about beef cattle.
Beef cat.
And we've done some of this stuff, but right now we're doing one on bedding, for bedding the cows.
So what's the experiment we're doing?
So we're taking these pie pans, gotta fill them half full with water.
Well, they have, yeah, we got ice in them right now. They've got half full and then with water, and then it froze solid.
Freeze it solid. And then we have 3 different kinds of beddings. I have the shavings here.
And then we've got
Straw.
Yeah.
And corn stalks.
Okay, so then we're gonna put each one of those on a different one of the pans.
1 to 2 inches thick.
And then we're gonna put thermometers above it.
Yep.
And then after a half hour, then we're gonna see where the thermometers are
And
reading.
then we gotta record it on the lab sheet.
Pretty cool, huh? What do you think will be the best bedding?
Maybe the shavings.
I'm guessing shavings too. I think those are going to be the most insulative.
Me too.
Is that a word, insulative?
I don't actually know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's.
But shavings are probably the hardest to get.
All right, we'll do that, and then we'll come back with the results.
So I'm trying to not make a mess here.
It's going to be hard to get that an inch thick on there.
Yeah. Okay, now we're trying out the corn stalk. Okay.
All right, so we got to get the thermometers on top then, and then we have to give it a half hour. Okay, so we have our thermometers sitting on the top of the piles,
Then
and then we'll give it about a half hour.
we'll wait a half hour and find out what temperature each bedding was. Then write down which bedding will keep cattle the warmest. What did the bedding feel like? And what did the wet bedding feel like? Would you want to lay there? And then which bedding was the coldest?
Oh, yeah, see, they're asking even, like, if it's going to get wet or anything. Okay, interesting. All right, we'll be back. So at a half hour, the shavings were at about 70. Really hard showing there. The straw was about 65. And the cornstalk bedding is at about 70. But I'm not 100% sure how accurate these thermometers are, because to touch this, the shavings actually feel the coldest.
They feel cold.
So we're going to let the experiment go to the end of chores, and then we'll see what the thermometers do the longer the ice underneath melts. It's been 3 hours since we started the experiment. So what do you see?
Well, the shavings are at about 61 degrees. And the straw is also at about 61 degrees. And the corn looks like in between 61 and 62 degrees. So the corn looks the warmest.
So the corn's the warmest. Did anything surprise you with this?
Well, I thought that the shavings were going to be the best, but they got wet. They got soggy.
Yeah, that's one thing with the ice melting that they got. Yeah, it's just wet there. So if you had cows laying on that, that means they get all wet, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be very comfy.
How about if your cows were laying on straw? Would they be wet? Kind of push down on it like you're a cow laying on it.
Was that melted? Only the bottom of it's wet, the stuff that was in the water.
So if the cows were on top of it,
They would stay dry.
okay, how about the cows on the cornstalk bedding?
Now, I can get up through this easier than through the straw, I think. I push down on it and I can feel the water.
Yeah, you're right. If you push on the cornstalk bedding, you hit to the water. So out of the three then, which one do you think was the best?
Well, the one I want to lay on the most would be straw.
I think you're right. I think the straw would be the best. I think it's probably the most comfortable.
It wasn't the warmest, but it stayed dry.
It did stay pretty dry.
The cow's body heat will warm it up anyway.
So, was that a fun experiment?
Yeah.